Hey guys, today I want to talk about the launch of The Last of Us Part 2 on PC. It finally arrived, probably to take advantage of the new season of the show, and honestly, it's better than that disaster that was Part 1. But still, there are some things that are quite annoying. The game is well optimized, but not perfect. We still have some issues in Part 2, however, it's pretty decent and even runs on lower end setups. We're going to test it in many scenarios using an RTX 3070 and a Ryzen 5500 from Full HD to 4K with and without DLSS and also with frame generation if needed. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Here at the beginning of the game, using the game's default settings at 1080p and no DLSS, we get between 40 and 70 FPS. It depends on the region, but I'm impressed that even with only 40 something FPS, the game feels really smooth. The loading times are fast because they added a new shader compilation system. Shaders now compile partly during loading and continue compiling while you play. This avoids long waits in the menu, but it causes some stuttering during gameplay, especially with higher graphics. If you notice FPS drops during scene transitions, that's probably the reason. So on one hand, it's good because you don't have to wait too long, but in practice, it causes stutters when loading new areas. Honestly, I'd rather wait a bit longer and have all shaders loaded before playing. Now let's switch to very low settings and check the FPS. Running on very low, the RTX 3070 gives us 90 to more than 100 FPS, but you're not going to play like this because the visuals in this game are incredible and they look really bad at this level, so we'll increase the settings step by step. Now with low graphics, we're still above 90 frames.
Licença.
Ellie, olha lá aí, vem cá.
With low graphics, the game becomes hard to play. You can see strange lines on the character's face and some textures that's really annoying, but overall the visuals aren't that bad. You can also turn on DLSS and get way better performance than native. We'll do that later in the video. If you turn on DLSS transformer in the NVIDIA app, the visuals can even look better. Now on medium settings, we get between 85 and 110 frames per second in the first section with Abby in the snow. From here, the graphics already look good enough for the RTX 3070 or similar cards, but even with native rendering, the GPU can do more. At Full HD and high graphics, we get around 85 frames per second, even in the worst case. For me, this is the best setting. Just lock the FPS to 60 or 70 to make things more stable, but that's for native gameplay. Personally, I'd play with DLSS on, which we'll test next.
Caralho, meu ombro.
Como eu faço pra sair daqui? Má ideia, Abby.
With DLSS quality at 1080p and high graphics, we get 120 FPS inside this house and between 90 and 120 FPS outside. That's a big improvement. Honestly, there's no reason not to use DLSS in this game. This game is CPU heavy, so compared to other modern games, you might feel FPS drops. To keep the game smooth, I suggest turning on the FPS cap to avoid stutters. But this GPU is not only for Full HD, it also works great at 1440p. So let's switch to 1440p. With DLSS on, we'll go straight to high graphics. And the result is great.
Já. Fica ligada nos infectados mais velhos. Tá. Sei lá. Parece que estamos em cima.
This GPU still has power to spare. It holds over 100 FPS most of the time, sometimes dropping to the 90s. Then we increase to very high. And for me, this is the ideal setup for the RTX 3070. We get the best visuals in Quad HD and still over 70 FPS. That's how I would play. With one small change, turn on the DLSS transformer in the NVIDIA app, go to the Elements tab, find The Last of Us, and change DLSS override to latest. This way you get better graphics with almost no performance loss. As you can see, the game keeps more than 70 FPS, sometimes even more. Thanks to this new NVIDIA tech, it's a great combo with the RTX 3070. Now let's push it further. At 4K with DLSS on low settings, 40 to 60 FPS, on medium, around 30 to 40 FPS. Remember, this GPU isn't made for 4K, but with some tweaks you can still play. Even on high settings you get over 30 frames, but on very high, it's unplayable. So let's use FSR3 with frame generation at 4K and medium graphics. This gives us over 60 FPS, perfect if you have a 4K monitor.
Porra. Acho que esfriou. Verdade.
With high graphics, things get harder. Around 40 FPS and sometimes 70 in less demanding scenes.
O mais importante é como a gente entra. Corredor.
On low settings, you can hit 4K with more than 75 FPS. In the end, this port is better than part 1, no doubt, but there are still a few small issues. Don't forget, this game was originally made to run on a PlayStation 4, a console that's more than 10 years old. So what about you? What did you think of The Last of Us Part 2 on PC? Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next videos, leave a like, and I'll see you in the next one.
Everything I have found here, I'm not found by myself. Try and sometimes you'll succeed to make this man of me. All my stolen missing parts, I've no need for any more. 'Cause I believe, 'cause I can see our future days, days of you and me.